I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is the myth of completion. Completion is a myth. It doesn't actually exist in reality. And that's because nothing is ever finished. It just transitions into a different form. A great example of this is evolution. Evolution is never finished, and that's because evolution doesn't actually have a static goal. Its basic intention is to constantly provide the best fit between organisms and their surrounding environment. But as the environment changes, the concept of best fit changes as well, which in turn changes the environment ad infinitum. Like most things in life, evolution is a never-ending process. So why do people think that completion exists? Now, before I explain this tendency, please remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel. It takes less than a second, costs you nothing, and it's how you can support me and my mission to deliver free, high-quality content to the world. Thank you for your help. All right, the reason why people believe that completion exists is due to a bias inherent in perspective. And the best way to illustrate that bias is to examine the difference in perspective between creator and observer. Let's take a famous piece of art, like the Mona Lisa, for instance. Now, from the observer's perspective, the Mona Lisa is a finished work of art. We all have an idea of what it is, and we can examine and count and tabulate all the brushstrokes that went into its composition. From this perspective, from the perspective of the observer, the Mona Lisa is complete. However, it's a different story from the perspective of the creator. There was no objective sign given to Leonardo da Vinci that not a single additional brushstroke was necessary to complete his masterpiece. It might be hard to imagine the Mona Lisa different from how it is. However, that is an observer problem. Da Vinci didn't have that problem. Creators like Da Vinci know all too well that something can always be added and something can always be taken away. And if he had decided to do so, then that would have been the Mona Lisa that we would now all think is complete. The idea of completion lies entirely in our heads as an artifact of our perspective bias as observers. Creators understand that they never really complete anything. They just sort of decide that they're done. The thing itself is not finished. It just looks finished to the outside observer. They could always do more, and they could always do less. However, it's this perspective bias that facilitates the myth of completion, and it really messes people up, especially with respect to their relationships. The truth is that it's always going to feel like there's something more you could have said, or there's something more you could have done. Just like there's always another brushstroke that could have been added to the painting. Relationships are never finished. People just decide to stop working on them. And there's no objective sign that tells the people involved when to stop. It's a subjective decision, and only the creators of the relationship can know when to move on. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below, and thank you for listening.